Hey, Jake.
Yo.
At the end of last episode, I dropped a hint
Yep.
that there is some funeral comedy coming up. Have you ever performed at a funeral?
I have actually.
Oh, I kind of remember this actually. You told this you
Yeah.
told the story before. So I guess that makes this a little less exciting. But I have like an explosion of funeral comedy coming up.
Yeah.
I got in June, I'm performing outside of Chicago at an ex funeral home.
Okay. Okay.
Like
Okay.
somebody turned a funeral home into a music venue, and I'm headlining a show out there. So everybody come out to Pontiac, Illinois,
Yep.
and check me out. Tour dates on my website. But more interesting, or more recent, I should say, I get these. You ever get questions from fans? And fan is an exaggeration. I have customers like a
Sure.
Vail Comedy Show and other shows. Every once in a while, they'll reach out and they'll say something like, "We were going to go see Bill Burr. Have you ever heard of him? Is he
Yeah.
funny? That kind of thing." You
Yeah.
ever get stuff like that? Maybe
Uh,
through Instagram
maybe
or
once or twice, just weird little DMs.
okay. Yeah. So I get them kind of regularly. Like sometimes people will be like, I live in the mountains. I go to your shows all the time. I'm going to be in Denver with my cousins and we want to go see comedy. It's on
Yeah.
this date. Where should we go? And I'll
Yep.
look around. And the last time that happened, Chris Higgins out of Chicago happened to be performing at the Denver Comedy Underground. And I was like, go check out Chris Higgins and be careful where you park. It's kind of a dangerous neighborhood. And I give a couple tips, and that group loved my suggestion. They had a great time. Well, I got a weird one recently. I got one last week where a lady emails me and says, "Hey, my mom just passed away, and my mom loved stand-up comedy. Would you help me book a comedian for the funeral in San Francisco? Is that
Yeah.
something you could even do?"
Yeah.
And so I wrote back, I would love to help. The San Francisco market is probably like my second favorite market. I'm there all the time. We've had probably, other than New York and LA, it's the most comics we've had. I'm
Yeah.
saying this wrong. It's early here.
Yeah.
Uh, we've had the most comics at Vail Comedy Festival behind New York and LA come from San Francisco. There's just this really good pipeline of comedians, and there a bunch have come out to do Vail Comedy Show. So I know, and I go out there and perform pretty regularly. I know a ton of comics in San Francisco, so I'm like, yeah, of course I can help. So I reach out to my first choice is this woman, Carla Clay. She headlined Vail Comedy Show this year and Georgetown Comedy Show and Castle Rock Comedy Show. Did a little run through Colorado. I met her in the basement of some Chinese bar at a San Francisco comedy show. In fact, I didn't even meet her. She just happened to end the show
Yeah.
and she crushed so hard. I mean,
Yeah.
it was one of these things where like she's just on a different planet, just totally different than everybody else. And so when I started booking this last winter's comedians, I reached out to the producer of that show and said, "Hey, is there any way you can get me in touch with the person who ended our show?" She was real specific to say she wasn't the headliner. She's very
Yeah.
modest, but she's been doing comedy 20 plus years. She's so funny. Carla Clay, you can't. She's kind of a ghost online. And
Yeah.
I was just on my other podcast last night. I was talking to somebody from the Bay Area about her, and she was saying that it's kind of nice that like Carla gets enough work. She works all the time
Yeah.
and nobody knows who she is. It's
Yeah.
like the people who need to know, and she doesn't go out of her way to be no, she's not posting videos online. You can't find a stand-up clip of her anywhere. So
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Okay. All right. So,
go. Yeah.
uh, I was talking. I was listening to the show, comedians in cars getting coffee with Jerry Seinfeld. He had
Yeah.
this little interchange with, I want to say it was either Steve Martin or Martin Short, one of those Martin guys.
Okay.
And talking to him and saying, hey, you're starting in comedy, but did you ever want to be famous? And his answer was so interesting. I think about it all the time. So Jerry Seinfeld's answer of did you want to be famous was, well, I mean, I wanted to be good at comedy. So it's like a banker saying, I want to be a good banker, but not with money. Like that's part of being a good comedian is to be
Yeah.
famous Well,
Yeah.
you know, not in a bad way, but just so I'm wondering if you know
Well, this
she
is a
was kind of
loophole.
there's a
This is a
loophole.
loophole.
Yeah,
She is good at comedy and
yeah,
she is not famous and she's successful as well.
yeah,
So that's a word you didn't quite use, but I
yeah,
think it
yeah.
was
The
kind of
same sort of idea.
implied.
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh, so she is very successful.
yeah,
You know, she makes a full-time living doing comedy and nobody knows who she is. It's kind of
yeah,
like these every once in a while you'll meet a cruise ship comic
yeah,
who,
yeah,
they're on the cruise ships 40 plus weekends a year and nobody, I mean, they don't do the clubs.
yeah,
They're not,
yeah,
they
yeah.
don't live anywhere really. They
Yeah.
probably rent a room from their parents or something,
Yeah.
to have a home base and receive mail. But yeah. So anyway, so I reach out to her and I send the obituary. Have you ever have you
That's
ever
great.
sent an obituary? Say like, hey, here's some material you can work with.
Yeah.
The lady was lovely. I mean, just a really nice obituary for the celebration of life. It's going to be in South San Francisco. It's at noon on a Friday.
Yeah.
The woman who contacted me to try and find a comedian threw out a number. I'll mention it on the Patreon. Let me write that down. And it was a good. It was a not a ton of money, but it was definitely a good amount of money, especially for noon
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
what is kind of a weekday, Friday, at
Yeah.
noon, kind of a weekday. So anyways, Carla says yes. She goes, I actually went to this lady's rival high school
Yeah.
and the dead lady, and I'm going to do it because of that. And so we'll see how it goes. It's in a couple, it's kind of a long time away. This is confusing to me. I
Yeah.
might make a bit out of this because I've been trying to do a bit for years about milk.
Mm.
And milk, when I was a kid, milk expired if you left it on the counter for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you go to the grocery store and it's like, this milk will expire next 4th of July.
Yeah.
No matter what
Yeah.
time. Like, I don't know what they're doing to milk these days,
Yeah.
but the expiration dates are like months in the future. It's crazy. And so this funeral it was like 4 weeks from when the lady emailed me.
Yeah.
What are they doing with these bodies? Or maybe the celebration of life is separate from the burial.
Yeah.
I guess that would make sense because people need to clear their schedules.
But the first thing you said is like, I'm doing all these funeral shows, and then you said June. I'm like, who's planning their funeral for June? Like, yeah.
Well, when this comes out, it's going to be almost June, but to the listeners, we're recording this several weeks in advance.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see how that goes. Like, would you have what? So you did a funeral.
I did.
Any tips on doing a funeral?
I did my type 5. I just my regular material. It was super weird. It was not on purpose. My uncle was like, "You do comedy, right?" I had just done, probably just a couple of months before this. I was doing. I did New Faces at Comedy Works, and so I just did that. I just did what I did at New Faces. I held a pen instead of a microphone. And I confused some old ladies at a church. So yeah, that's what happened.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So any now that you're a little farther along in comedy, like how would you approach that? Let's say somebody asked you to do. Well, here's another question. The booking lady, which by the way, I just connected the comedian with the booker and I stepped away. So I've no financial interest or anything in this anymore. But I will if I hear back from Carla, I will report back on the pod. One of the questions that the lady had was how much time should we do? And she was open to really our suggestions. And I just left it. I'm going to let Carla figure that out. But what would you say to that? How much time would you do?
I would, my instinct would be like 15. So enough to do it, but not that long. I mean, even eulogies, even like a sermon at a funeral is only like 15, 20 minutes long. Okay. So, well, yeah, what are you thinking?
15 is a solid answer. I was thinking 10 to 20, somewhere in there. It's too much money to just do like 5 or 7 minutes. 15 feels substantial. I do think it could make a very funny sketch. Comedians are psychos and they want their stage time and they're always asking for more stage time. It'd be pretty funny to have a sketch of an oblivious comedian doing a funeral asking for 70 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I just want to do my tight 70, you know, I'm not coming out there for less than an hour. Like, let's be
Yeah,
serious. Like, I want to
yeah,
do, I really need to get into it, you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Need to get into it. Yeah, and maybe keeps saying, "Oh, you're gonna want to hear this. You're gonna want to hear this." Like,
Yeah. I don't want to skimp these people,
yeah,
you know?
give them their money's worth.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That was a solid, 15 is a solid answer. I think
Yeah.
that's appropriate. That makes sense.
Yeah, it is interesting because what would you do then? I mean, a
Like
lot of my
material wise?
yeah, a lot of my material is about me, um, or even if it's a story, I'm a character in the story, you know.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean,
so
she's a mother, so you'd look at the obituary and
yeah,
you'd see, she was into charity. You try and find some connective thread to your
yeah,
material.
yeah,
Do you have jokes about moms that obviously aren't offensive? Like at that
yeah,
point,
yeah,
you gotta. I just got a Father's Day booking, and I'm like, yeah, I can tell jokes about dads, and they're about my dad, and I make fun of him. So
yeah,
it's not like,
yeah, yeah. Well, dads are always that's the thing. Dads are way different. There's all these things like in churches for sure, like Mother's Day, celebrating your mom. Oh, she's an unsung hero. Oh, she's so great. Let's give her flowers. Let's shower her in gifts. Father's Day, guys, you need to step up your game. Like, it is just
it
so
is kind of a silly holiday because I mean the moms do all the work
yeah,
traditionally,
yeah,
and I'm not sure why we're celebrating fathers, but
yeah.
why they get their whole day. They should get less than mothers. Mothers should get a weekend.
Did you watch the Michael movie? The movie with Michael
Oh,
Jackson?
the Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
No, I did not.
Okay, I'm going to tell you one thing about it, and then I confirmed it online, which is going to be related. Um, he called his dad Joseph, and
Okay.
all of the kids called Joseph Jackson Joseph. Like that was the
Okay.
thing. He apparently wanted them to think of him as a manager first and a father second. So they all of the kids they called the mom or mother or whatever it is, but they called the dad Joseph. Because
That's,
like halfway through the movie, I'm like, why is he keep? I mean, he's like a little kid. He's like 6, calling his
yeah.
dad Joseph. I'm like,
Huh.
that is a beating, right? What are you doing, dude?
Yeah, that's weird.
But apparently he was asked to do that. So that's yeah, difference between
That's
dads and
weird.
moms.
Yeah. Well, that's why I ask you to refer to me as Mark,
That's right.
because I want you to see me as a podcast manager first.
First, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, you got something? All right, I got a ton of stuff to talk about.
Oh man, I'm just booking this show in Louisville. I'm getting a lot of like goofy. I'm trying to do it for new comics, and I'm getting a lot of like goofy stuff. Just guys coming back at me like, "Hey, I tried to sign up for it. Did I get on?" And I'm like, I haven't responded to everybody yet, but I haven't set the lineup. It's been like a week. I haven't set the lineup because I can't get everybody to confirm. The
It's
guys
not
that
easy, man. You got to get them to
I,
have them quit calling you Big Jake and have them call you Jake, so
that's
they
right. That's
understand
right.
that you're
I
the
need to
manager, you're the
know I'm
producer.
the man. I'm in charge here. I mean, if I'm going authority, it's Dr. Hovis. So
Mm,
I got a I got a graduation card in the mail from my nephew, and
okay.
it said Jake Hovis. It didn't say my wife's name. It just said Jake Hovis. Didn't which like that's a little weird. Why would they, address it like that? And then I said, did they say Dr. Hovis? Like, nope. Like that's ridiculous. It should say Dr. and Mrs. Hovis, not anything. But yeah, booking shows, man, is hard and tricky,
You're,
and it's
buddy,
tough to
you're
do it.
preaching to the choir, man.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're getting a little glimpse
yeah,
into how difficult it can be.
yeah,
It's,
yeah. So,
I aspire to make it look easy, but it
yeah.
for sure is not
Well, I'm
easy.
sure it gets easier. But this is the first one I've booked in a while, and I've booked shows where I'm the producer at a club, and the club is doing a lot of the other stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm just setting the lineup, kind of hosting the show sort of thing,
Yeah.
as opposed to like if I'm doing all of it. There's like an empty room and a date, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to set up the chairs and the whole nine
Yeah.
yards. So,
I would say all that logistical stuff of setting up the show and
yeah,
operating the show technically does get easier with
yeah,
repetition.
yeah,
But the human management never
mm,
gets easier.
yeah,
And if it's in Louisville, that's your hometown,
yep,
keep in mind, I run most of my shows 100 miles from where I live
yeah,
and from
yeah,
where all the comics live.
yep,
So that just adds to the difficulty. I mean,
yeah,
people are flakes. I will say that one thing that sometimes makes it easier is paying a lot,
yeah.
which I don't always do, but I have over the years increased the pay. I know you mentioned in the last episode
Sure.
that this one wasn't
It's
paying
not paid
great.
well. Yeah,
And,
right.
but on the flip side, when you get eager beaver, newer comedians, they can be pretty reliable because they want the stage time so
Yeah, yeah,
badly. I mean,
yeah,
the real hazard is when you book somebody beneath their value.
yeah,
And then you're kind of at the mercy of are they going to flake on me? Is somebody going to make them a different offer? Are they loyal?
yeah.
So
I'm not running into that. I think I did a little bit run into that. Now I had them all like fill out a form. They all raised their hand like, "Hey, I want to be on your show," which is I think is a different way of going about it as opposed to like, "Hey, let me give you this insulting offer." But
sure.
I'm more of having a couple of guys have reached out and be like, well, am I on it? And I just want to say you're not funny, and you're not that fun to hang out with, and I don't want you anywhere near my show. So no, you're not on it.
You
Like
can't
that's what
say
I
that,
want.
Jake. A little bit of advice. If you're gonna make it, you can't
Is it?
you can't say those things. You
Yeah.
gotta just
Hey, it's
send
already
out.
full. My bad.
No, what
Like
you
that.
do is you make the lineup and you send an email to everybody and
Yeah,
you say,
exactly.
here's the lineup. If you're not on the lineup,
Yeah,
better luck next time or whatever.
yeah,
We had some difficult decisions to make, whatever.
yeah,
Use the royal we. Let me lend that to you.
yeah. You
You can
like the royal we?
yeah, you
You're
can say that we consulted
yeah. We
and
consult. I consulted
yeah,
with a booking company in
pretty
Colorado.
much. I am a booking company, buddy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. So I think that is true. Anyway, what's else on your burning list
Oh
here?
man. Well, let's talk a little bit about TV, which this will be completely irrelevant by the time it comes out. But one quick question: how are you doing on your 1 month not watching TV?
Not good.
Okay. Well, that's
So I did.
helpful for this question because as I was about to start this, I was realizing, well, he's obviously going to say no because he doesn't watch TV anymore. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're not doing good. Have you been watching Funny AF on
No,
Netflix?
I have not.
Are you aware of it?
Am aware of it.
Is
I
that
actually have
because
something
I'm
written
curious
down.
about this? Is that because of social media?
Yeah, well, a friend of mine just wrote a little blog post about it, and it basically was like this: was here's strategies of doing a roast to do roast jokes, and he's a clean comedian, and he's like, can clean comedians do roasts? And I am a clean comedian, love roasts,
Okay.
absolutely love roasts.
Okay.
I would do a roast every weekend if I could. And I've run into comedians who like have different thoughts about roasts.
Okay.
Some of them were like, one of the guys I know around here is like, I can't do roast anymore because I'll start writing these roast jokes and I won't write anything else and I'll just be focused on this. And then you just use them for one day and then they're useless for the rest of your life. I'm like, I've done roast battles 8-9 times. I've lost one, and then I've run one. I lost my very first one, and then
Okay.
one the rest of them. I'm into roasts. So I think that show, most recent episode, was about roasts. That's why.
No longer. Last night they had a new episode.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, there was, or actually there've been multiple. Anyways, they did have a roast element.
Yeah.
They roasted Marshawn Lynch.
Oh,
And
okay.
Kevin Hart was there as well.
Yeah.
And Chelsea Handler.
Yeah. So I mean I love roast jokes, and I don't think roast and clean is incompatible.
Right. Yeah.
So
what was the point of the blog post?
he was saying, here are 7 strategies of how to write a roast joke, and I kind of skimmed through the article. I'm like, you know.
But what was the connection to Funny AF?
Because they did that. They had a roast day or whatever.
And did he say, like, here are some tips that the performers
Yes.
could have used, or these are things he learned from watching it? Or
Exactly. Here's things I learned watching it, and
okay, cool.
try to
Neat.
help
It was
out.
super dirty, by the way. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know if you like watching dirty comedy at all.
Sure.
Do you?
Not really. Sometimes,
Not
I mean,
really.
it gets tiring because it's lazy. It's not because it's not, I think it's funny the first couple times, but then it's just the same old thing.
Well,
Okay.
yes. I mean, bad jokes can
Bad
be
jokes are lazy.
improved by
Okay. All right.
being
Hold on.
dirty.
There's a guy, I forget, I have it on my shelf. I have a book on my shelf that this guy wrote. Steve Sabo, I believe, is the name of the guy.
Yeah, I
who
know
wrote.
Steve.
Yeah, he has, I read his book. He has this one section is like, people will say that clean comedy is harder than dirty comedy. They're wrong. Dirty comedy, when done well, is actually harder. I'm like, you are a dirty liar. You gave no evidence for this. You did not prove this wild claim at all. Plus, Nate Bargatze made millions of dollars last year, and other dirty guys are at the Chuckle Hut. So who cares? So it's like,
I mean, that ebbs and flows, right? Like Andrew
flows.
Dice Clay was making the most money of any comedian, and he was pretty
But
dirty.
I mean, yeah, you got Seinfeld and Gaffigan and Reagan and all of the top are all the clean guys.
Yeah.
So
maybe.
I mean, that's the thing with dirty. It's not an offensive thing. It's just it feels so lazy. So many times it just feels lazy.
Maybe. I mean, I think there are very funny jokes that are dirty, and they are
Sure.
not lazy. They are really impressively written, and they just happen to touch on topics that are, things you wouldn't see in a Disney movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I've been one of my takeaways from Funny AF, which for anybody who doesn't know, it's a Netflix series with Kevin Hart. It's like Star Search for comedians.
Yep.
And what's fascinating about it is there were 48 comedians, so 3 groups of 16. I have booked and worked with 7 of them.
Oh,
which
wow.
is a pretty substantial number.
Yeah,
the finals are tonight live at 9 p.m. Eastern, and you get to vote. You watch and you vote who wins. They did voting last night for the semifinals. 4 contestants. Guess how many of my 7 made it into the top 4?
I hope all 4.
No, 2 out of the 4,
okay,
which is pretty great.
That's awesome. That's
Caitlin Palufo and Osama Siddiqui. Who Osama? I've been saying your name wrong for years. I've been saying Usama, but Osama apparently is how you say it.
Caitlin Palufo is fantastic.
She's great, right?
Great.
And last night, a little bit of drama. She didn't make it immediately. Some other guy beat her in the audience voting, and it was like crazy because in my opinion, they were groups of 3, so it was her and 2 guys, and you had to vote on who should advance from the 3. And what I thought was the worst set of the 3 advanced. It was crazy. They were doing like 4 to 5 minute sets. And it's been fun. The show's interesting. You get to follow along, and who's in. Well, this is going to blow your mind. Elin Stribling.
Oh, Elin Stribling is in there?
He's one of the 48. He doesn't make it past the very first man. I know. Like, this is somebody we used to do open mics with.
Yeah.
Salma Zaky is in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. So there might be people that I'm trying to think of Midwest. They did an episode in Chicago that was supposed to, kind of focus on the Midwest. Have you heard of Winston Hodges?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's in it. He made it to the semifinals. He was one of the last 12 remaining.
Wow.
But he didn't make it. I'd never heard of him. He's been kind of charming. He's been very interesting in this. Now we've lost Jake to a rabbit hole.
No, I'm just making sure I know Winston Hodges. Yeah, I know Winston Hodges. Yeah.
Okay. Crazy glasses. He looks kind of like Drew Carey. Yeah. So anyways, Funny AF is happening, and it's tonight, and I'm gonna watch it live and vote, and I'm hoping that Caitlin or Osama win. It's gonna be interesting. We'll see what happens. We would have talked more about it if you had seen it, but maybe you'll watch it someday, and we can catch up on the Patreon and spill some dirt about who we thought shouldn't have advanced or whatever. Yeah. I got another thing if you want me
On.
to move on.
Yeah. I thought Selma Zack. I feel like I asked her to do a show, and I'm not sure if she said yes or not. Like I know I like asked because she moved to Denver and didn't have, and like I was one of the first people that booked her to do a show, or I tried to book her. I can't remember if I successfully booked her. I was trying to look that up
Yeah.
real quick.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I know.
She did Vail Comedy Festival. She's done Vail Comedy Show. I think multiple times. She did Castle Rock Comedy Show. She's done all kinds of stuff. I just tried to book her for a Mountain Fresh Comedy Festival,
Yep.
and I won't. We're still in talks, and I will say something on the Patreon about it if anybody is interested in what's going on with that. I got a lot of Patreon stuff. Everybody, patreon.com/Mark and Jake. It's spicy over there. Okay, you want to hear? Should we go into? Should I do this comedy festival, or you want to?
Yes. Yeah. So you did it.
I did it.
You're back home.
I'm back. I got to say, first thing, unbelievable getting back from a weekend of comedy and feeling like I'm hitting the ground running. And what I mean by that is I had like a normal flight time. I didn't have to get up at like 5 in the morning. I stayed in a hotel the whole time. I didn't drink the entire weekend, alcohol. And I just I worked out. I maintained a healthy lifestyle. And I was shocked that yesterday, which was my first full day back, I was just like a normal human being. Usually I'm like completely wiped after a festival or sleeping in my car for a weekend or whatever. I could probably get used to this. I have so many things to say. Let's start with some positives. So I went to Athens Comedy Festival. First off, Athens is adorable.
Yeah.
The last pod, we already talked. I did some shows in Atlanta, and I didn't know anything about Athens when we taped the last pod. I've now spent a couple days in Athens. It's a college town, University of Georgia. It's full of college towns are fun. They're full of energy. There's a lot of youth. You know, it's an exciting place to be. They got great food down there. Just to throw out a couple of things. If you're going to visit Athens, Georgia, check out Cafe Racer. They make potato donuts. This is the second time I've run into potato donuts.
Yeah.
When I was in Maine, I had potato donuts. I've never heard of potato donuts in my whole life. They're pretty good. They have a cinnamon sugar that was delicious. They also have some great biscuit sandwiches. Cafe Racer, check that out. Condor Chocolates over in 5 Points, super cute. Couple doors down is a bookstore, really adorable. There's Fully Loaded is like a pizza place. It's a chain of sorts. I went to the one in 5 Points and had the best calzone I've had in a while.
Wow.
Amazing. And then a last food shout out, Dog Gone Good Barbecue. Dog is spelled DAWG. It's right around the corner from Morton Theater. If you do the festival, you're going to be right next to it. Go check it out. It's kind of funny. Online, it said that there's a line around the block and the food runs out, like barbecue places. And I got there close to 11 when they opened, and it basically looked like it was closed. There was nobody there. So I went for a walk around the campus, came back half an hour later, still the first customer in the door. And but it was delicious. Really good ribs and some great sides. Some sweet potato casserole or something like that was incredible. Or maybe, I don't know, some souffle or casserole side was really, really good. So the food was amazing. What else? I don't know. Ultimately, the question is, should I do this festival? I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it after I committed, because there was a little bit of me that was like, should I cancel on this? Should I welch? Sure. And ultimately I decided I have to do this festival. I said I was going to do it. My word's my bond. You can't, your reputation is something you can't change. And so I followed through. I spent a pretty penny flying out there, got a couple segments closer to my gold status for this year.
That's right.
And learned that choice hotels can be pretty nice. I know
I'm a choice guy. What
it was a Comfort Inn.
Comfort Inn, okay. Comfort Inn is on the is in the middle. I mean, it's maybe on the higher end of the. I do a lot of sleep ins. I do a lot of quality ins.
Okay. Are those above or below?
Below. way
Oh,
below.
okay. So this thing was like, it was $111 a night
Yeah.
when I booked it for 3 nights. And the Best Western at the festival suggested, which was kind of a long walk distance to the theater, was by the time I was ready to book, $279 a night.
Ooh, that's
This
a
is
big
like
difference.
more than half, but it was 6 miles away.
Yeah.
So you had to drive. Oh my gosh, my rental car, you remember my crazy rental car story?
Yeah, yeah.
Went great, dude. Car
Okay.
was incredible. When I returned it, it was very quick. They within 5 minutes, I was in the shuttle to the airport. They
Yeah.
completely checked it in and sent me my receipt. Like
Yeah.
no extra charges, no extra fees.
Yeah.
The one thing I did bad is I told you that they wanted the gas tank returned half full.
Mhm.
And I was like, maybe this is a scam, so people will overfill it. Well, I put in a couple gallons and then I turned the key in the ignition and it didn't go up to half. So I went back, re-put in the credit card, added a whole nother gallon.
Yeah.
And then when I started the car, I realized the gas thing doesn't reset, I think, until you start the engine.
Ah.
So I accidentally filled it to like 60%.
Yeah.
That was like
Yeah,
$4 or
rentals are
$5
weird like that,
mistake.
you know.
Yeah,
With
yeah, yeah.
the rental trucks or whatever, they mark it on the U-Hauls or whatever. I haven't rented a whole lot of cars, but I rented a lot of U-Hauls.
All right, right.
Yeah. Well, fun.
So the
So the
festival
show, but the shows, that's what we got. That's what we care about.
yeah, the shows. So Friday night, I watched the entire show. I got there early. They had food for us. They had some
Yep.
sandwiches, which was a surprise. The theater was really nice. It's a really cute theater. I don't do theaters. Like, have you done very many theater shows?
5 or 10, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. I'm probably under 5, I would think, or right around 5.
Yeah.
So just like having all that space and was
It is
fun.
weird. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'd say the theater was a third full.
Okay.
It's like a 350 seater. There might have been 75 to 100 people there the first night. It was, I mean, on tape, you're not going to be able to tell.
Sure.
But I was up in the balcony, it looked a little sad. It was a bummer. Yeah. And that's, I think they really tried to get people out, but that's some room for improvement there. Like if they sold out that place or even sold out the lower level, the shows would be electric.
Yeah.
And we talked about some of the comedians on the lineup. They were fine. There was kind of a headliner on Friday night who has some credits, Trish Schur, and they had a kind of accomplished, kind of at our level a little bit above host who had some credits, Karen Morgan.
Yeah.
And I really shouldn't say at our level. I only say that because I recently headlined Great Falls Comedy Club and she's headlined that as well. Nice. But plenty of people who are way above me have also headlined that. I think she has a dry bar and some specials online and she's got a ton of followers. So it was really well organized. Like everything was just like, I mean, this is the thing about theater shows. They had a call time. Like they wanted you there an hour and a half before the show. And they wanted you side stage 2 performers before you went on. Mm-hmm. And, there was just all kinds of organization. But at the same time, there were some small things that like, you could tell it was new to them. Like for one, I asked, does it matter where we stand on stage? And multiple people told me no. And it kind of like gave me a little like, why would it matter where you stand on stage? Well, when I went out on the stage, the mic stand was at the very front of the stage. I think, is that downstage?
Yeah, downstairs. Yeah.
All right. So it was all the way downstage. And that's where I stood for a couple minutes. And then I backed up and I realized, oh, I have not been in the light. And then I tried to stay there, but the stool was right behind me. So I was like boxed in kind of, and it really threw me off a little bit because I'm like thinking about where should I stand when I wish they would have just, one, put the mic stand closer to where we should have stood and let people know ahead of time, like, here's a box, here's some tape on the floor.
Yeah.
Which there was tons of tape on the floor.
Yeah.
Just, tell people to stay within these 4 pink X's or whatever.
Yeah.
The sound was great. Yeah, it was fine. I had this problem with my set, which I've had before, where sometimes I'm just not like thrilled to be there. I don't know how to explain it. Sometimes when I get on stage and I watch my tape later, you can just see the happiness exuding out of me.
Sure.
And this is my fault. I'm to blame. My headspace wasn't right as I went out to delight people for 10 minutes. It was a shorter spot. I didn't have a great spot in the lineup. I spent a ton of money and I flew all the way there. It was a host who was like, I don't know what happened, but kind of like an emergency host. Like, I don't think he knew he was hosting ahead of time. He was just like a local guy and part of the festival team. And then one other comic, and then I was second on the whole show. So that was kind of a bummer. It was definitely after there was a second half of the show. They did an intermission. It was noticeably, there were more people and they were more engaged the second half of the show.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know. It was fine. And I realized in the middle of my set, like, oh, I'm not using this tape because the lighting is all weird. And that was kind of like the big benefit of doing it. So I guess if you were going to ask me, I mean, I might do it. It was fun to visit. I got a lot out of the Atlanta spots that I had.
Yep.
I think the proof will be in the pudding, as they say, if anything comes of the people I met at the festival.
Yeah.
And then to cap it off with a positive, they had what they called a show after the Saturday night show, but it's basically an open mic. It was like a festival open mic with a bunch of comics who were local who didn't get to do the festival, got to perform on it. And I pulled a real pro move, Jake. I was second to last on that lineup of 20 comics. And I get over there. The host was just wrapping up. There's like 15 to 20 people in the audience.
Yeah.
And when the host gets off, I tell him, hey, man, I just got over here from the festival. I'm second to last on your list. Just wanted you to know who I am. That's a pro move right there. I've never met this host. You let them know who you are. And I said, I'm old. I want to get to bed. If there's any way to get me up earlier, I'd be happy to go up earlier. Don't want to mess with your system. And he comes back to me like a minute later. He goes, all right, this lady's going up next. Do you want to go right after her? I go, yeah, I would love that. And so I ended up going up like fourth. There's now like 25 people in the audience.
Yeah.
When I wandered back in around the 7th or 8th comic, there were like 6 people in the audience.
Oh, nice.
Like by the time second to last came around, there was going to be nobody there. It was going to be a disaster. And I had, Jake, one of the best sets of my year. It was crazy. And I didn't record it. I can't believe it. But it was super dirty. I'm not even sure I can tell you on the Patreon something that I said on stage. But I will say one thing that I did do on stage. I had this joke where I say the word correctional facility. Yeah. And for some reason, these 2 girls near the front who are laughing at everything, one of them laughs like out of control at the word correctional facility. It didn't make any sense. I don't know why she laughed then. It wasn't a punchline. It's like a setup. It's in the middle of a setup. And so then I just I riffed on that and was just like, well, you really think correctional facilities are funny? Did your uncle just get out of one? Whatever. And so like the rest of my set, I would just interject correctional facility. Yeah. Like once every 12 words, I just say correctional facility. And some comic came up to me later and said, I was just up on stage and I said correctional facility. it turned into a thing. Yeah. It was super fun. I felt really loose. And that's the joy. That's the contrast to where I was on the theater gig. I think I was I don't know how to say it, but too prescribed. I wasn't loose at all. I was like, here are the 500 words I'm going to say in exact order. And I don't know. I was having a lot of fun at that open mic thing or show, late show.
Yeah.
So Yeah. What kind of questions would you ask? Like, let's say, we were having this conversation. What would you want to know about a festival that you might be considering?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's how close is it is the first thing, and then how much time do you get, and like
About proximity, real quick.
yeah,
A lovely 90-minute drive from Atlanta. I think a couple times in this podcast, I said it was going to be 3 hours or something like that. Both times the first time I made the drive was around midnight. So it was like no traffic.
mhm.
And it was like an hour and a half both times. It was
That's
great.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then it would just be like, what, how you want to get on stage a good amount of time. You want to, network with the people. You want to, not, yeah. So I'll say it this way: Lookout Comedy Festival, has been a fun one, and that's one that I recommend to comedians around here. Now, I recommend Vail as well, but I know they're not going to be able to get in. So, like, you know,
Yeah.
uh,
They can volunteer. They
can
should volunteer. We have
Yeah.
2 volunteers flying in this year who are comedians, and they're great. And they'll probably get a little bit of stage time, and they'll definitely get a lot of experience.
Yeah. So, but if they're like, hey, the Lookout Comedy Festival from Louisville, 5 hours to Chattanooga. The first time I did it, I didn't get a hotel. I think I've only done it one time, but I didn't get a hotel. At noon, there was this panel discussion. Shane Torres was on it, talked about all these different things. Then did 2 shows. One of the shows had Sean Carter from Blue Ridge Comedy Club.
Oh, yeah.
At there.
Yeah, so it had some industry.
Had some
Yeah,
industry.
this one didn't have any industry, and Vail doesn't score high on industry.
Yeah,
really.
but I mean, at that time, Blue Ridge Comedy Club was like first year. I mean, it's industry, but he's probably there more as a comedian than he is industry.
Yeah, we usually get a couple Denver club bookers, like smaller.
Yeah. So it would be similar to like having Ben Bryant at the show, like not huge, but something. And then I did a show. We did one of the sets at the Comedy Catch. I walked off the stage at the Comedy Catch. The owner of the Comedy Catch says, "Here's my email. Send me your availabilities. I'll get you up." And then I sent availabilities and like basically got a feature weekend right then. So
yeah, that's incredible.
That's a good festival. And I didn't stay a night at a hotel. I drove 5 hours. Was there from noon until about 10 p.m. Went home. Done.
That's awesome.
So.
Yeah, one of the things that I think they could have improved at Athens is getting some of the fancier comics to spend time with the submission comedians in some way. Like I was kind of disappointed that the first night after they did a great job saying, hey, this is the bar where the post event hang is. And all the comics showed up. It was really fun. And I had a great time getting to know some comedians, but none of the like organizers hung out with the comics, and none of the fancier comedians even showed up. Yeah, and the second night, I asked one of them, hey, because I wanted to talk to her. I was like, hey, are you going to come over to this other show? And she said yes, but she never did. So.
Yeah, you're going to hate that I forgot his name. But at Mountain Fresh, the headliner, very funny guy. I liked him a lot. And he's spent so much time with us.
That's one of the features of Mountain Fresh Comedy Festival that the first year we didn't do a great job, but the second year, which was last year, we basically put it into the contract that the headliners need to spend at least 30 minutes mentoring the submission comedians. And that was like different ways. Like the night before, Adam Caton Holland talked for almost 2 hours by like a fire pit with everybody drinking beers. And it was awesome. It was really, really cool. And then the third night, it was kind of like, I'd say you got the middle of the 3.
Yeah.
The third night, it felt like a hostage situation.
Nice.
Like the headliner was like, yes, I will do this. But, the energy was, this isn't where I want to be right now.
Yeah.
And that's not the headliner's fault necessarily. It was just a function of had somewhere to go. And, you know,
But it was
so
great.
let me see if I had any other notes about the comedy festival. This is silly, but I saw a host not end with a comedian's name.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's just like,
frustrating. Did they say the name in the middle? They were like,
it was
this
towards
next
the end.
comedian.
It's like when you say the name, but you don't get the pop you're expecting. And then they just add filler words like,
Yeah.
keep it going. Let's get excited. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And you got to, I mean, I make that mistake myself sometimes.
Oh, okay. Let me get your thoughts on this. There's a hosting technique that I have seen many times and I have strong opinions about. And it's like, okay, last comedian gets off. I'm the host. I get up there. Hey, all right, we got our next comedian. Keep it going. Start clapping right now. Start clapping right now. Get it go. Get it go. Get it going. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Mark Masters. It's like,
you don't like that?
I don't like that at all. They clap after the name's said. You know, that's when they're supposed to clap. They're not supposed to clap while you're announcing the name so that nobody can hear the name.
To me, it's really the amount of time that it takes.
Yeah.
If they do it too long, it can be annoying. But I mean, that's part of their job of being a host is keeping the energy up and keeping people excited. And if you've learned from previous introductions that people aren't making noise after the person's name, or maybe the set before wasn't very good.
None of that is. These are just goobers who don't know what they're doing. No, it has none. They're not thinking about anything. They have not had a single thought in their head their whole life. It is just they monkey see, monkey do. Like, let's start clapping right now. It is.
I've seen it be done well. I'll give you an example from
that
last episode. I was saying how great this Nicole Blue was at hosting in at Laughing Skull. Like, I actually learned some things watching her host. I was like, I'm going to bring this stuff back to next time I host at Comedy Works. Like she's like super cheerleader. Like you based on that, no, you would have hated her. Because she's doing things like when I say blah, you say blue, and then like really getting people going, and then all right, and let's keep that energy going. Keep that energy going. Here comes your next comic.
That's not. I mean,
there's a place for it.
No, I don't know. I mean, I think it depends on how many comics are on there. If it's a three-man show, two-man show,
fair.
But if there's a 25, 30 people on the show, stop doing that. Let's just keep going, man. You know, they're not
again, that gets back to the duration. Like if a host's interstitial set, meaning between comedians, is less than 10 seconds, and they do what you're complaining about, I don't have a problem with it.
No.
If it's going on and on and on, and they're doing what you're complaining about, yes, I would probably agree with you. Also, if the audience is annoyed by it, like
I'm annoyed by it. Yeah, I mean,
if you're doing it like 20 times, then it gets.
I put myself in the audience's position, and I'm feeling annoyed by it, and so it's like I don't want to. I mean, it's golden rule stuff. Like, I don't want to sit through it, so why am I going to make somebody else sit through it?
Sure. All right, buddy. Let me ask you for some new faces advice. I got new faces tomorrow. Everybody, it's a competition, annual competition at the big comedy club in Denver called Comedy Works. You do 5-minute spots. There's like 100+ comedians in the competition. They do a bunch of initial rounds. A couple people advance from each round. And then there are semifinals, and you do 2 shows of those. I don't know if you do 5 or 7 minutes at those. And then there's a finals where there's like 8 or 10 comics, and they're each doing 7 minutes, and somebody wins $1,000 at the very end. And I'm real happy that I got my Thursday comedy club experience at Laughing Skull running my 5 minutes. The only thing I'm stressed about is my opening line.
Okay.
It's the one thing that's still in flux, and I don't know what to do about it. Basically, I usually open with a joke that is like, okay, but it's very short. and it leads into a premise. But I recently have cut that out so that I just go into the premise. And there's this like weird, I don't know what the word is for this, but psychology maybe, like the audience, they aren't laughing as hard at the later jokes without that first silly joke. It's not even silly. Silly makes it sound too good. It's like a C joke
Sure.
that just gives some space to the, it's kind of like a callback not working because you give it too much space or too little space. And I don't know. That's the only thing I'm really in my head about. But everything else, I think I got a really good 4 to 5 minutes. I definitely don't think I'll go over. If anything, I'll go under. I want to try to remember to just like sit in the laughs a little more than I usually do, especially after watching this festival. I think there's like a trick to comedy that if you wait for the laughs, they will come and you appear more competent as a comedian.
Yeah. Well, that's I just saw, I'm on a little bit of a Michael Jackson kick, and I was rewatching his Super Bowl performance. And I think it was 93 or 94. He does this nutty thing where he's on stage. You know, they do like there's fake Michael Jacksons that pop out of the scoreboards, but then he's on the stage. It's really him for, I think people in the comments said 70 seconds before he says anything. And what that does, at least appear to do, like, this is the most confident guy that's ever existed. Like this sitting in the silence looks like confidence. So yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's exciting though. New faces.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's like an annual check-in, if you will. I think one of these years I'll be like, man, that set wasn't as good as last year's New Faces.
Yeah.
It's like the one time that I really pay attention. It's so unique.
Yep.
I only literally once a year get to do 5 minutes at Comedy Works.
Yep.
So I remember it. And I always am bringing my very best material at that time. And I don't know, I can't imagine having better material.
Yeah.
Like in the past, I've been a little stressed about which joke should I use. I mean, I'm doing like hours all the time, and this is like distilled down.
Yep.
I think I could have a stronger closer in the sense that like a really good competition closer has multiple tags.
Yeah.
You know, and kind of builds in a way. And I do have. My whole set is just like joke, all in one premise and then a second premise.
Yeah.
And then in the second premise, the last joke is big punchline. And then kind of a surprise, I do a tag with another punchline.
Yeah.
And it does so it will have that escalation, but not like a rule of 3 escalation. One
of the criticisms I got early on, I did World Series of Comedy and at Looney's, and went down there, and I was in a wild card, and then the person that moved on didn't take it, so I was able to do 2 nights. You know, I didn't officially move on, but I got the mercy rule to move on the next day. And my brother came out, and he basically said it this way. He's like, you're funny and funny the whole time, and there's laughs. There's definitely laughs, but there's not a big one. There's not a big, like a huge laugh.
Yeah.
And so since then, I've tried to build in. I think I've successfully built in a couple of where it's like, hey, I say a lot of words, and then it's just one huge, like, even when I export it, you know, when you get the video and you can see like the sound wave. Like, oh wow, well there's that one. you know? So that was the thing that he told me.
Yeah, it's interesting. Sometimes you gotta, it feels like you gotta give the audience space to breathe.
Yeah.
And even if the punchline, like you can make a punchline stronger by building tension.
Yep.
and not having any other punchlines for a long period of time.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden there's like an explosion of laughter. But I don't know, man. Comedy is tough
Yep.
in the sense that it's a mental
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. It's like it's personal, and
yeah.
it hurts not to do well.
Yep.
And so there's a lot of stress. Like I'm stressed to the point where I haven't looked at the lineup. I know that once I see the lineup, I'm going to know whether I'm going to advance or not with 75% certainty.
Sure.
Like there could be 3 names on there that all of a sudden, boom, they're like, it doesn't even matter. Any of my preparation doesn't matter. Or I could look at it and be like, oh crap, this is mine to lose.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And then there's a different kind of pressure. So
I'm, you know, we're in competition season, you know, and I told myself I'm going to do competitions more and more this year. And so I've got several of them coming up.
Do you ever,
where it's like, this one I should move forward. This one should be an easy one. This should be an easy win on this one. But you never know.
You never know. I mean, it's so subjective. And especially at the Comedy Works competition, it's just clipboards handed out to random strangers.
Yeah.
I've seen crazy things happen where somebody absolutely crushes and does not advance.
Yep.
And
yeah.
I don't know. It hurts.
I won my very first comedy competition I won was at Finn McCool's.
I remember that, Mike. Friday Night Mike. Arapahoe Boulevard.
Exactly. And if you win the mic, then you get to come back on the winner's night and you win $300. So I won $300 at Finn McCool's.
Wow.
The reason I won $300 is because I did a Tanya Harding joke.
Okay.
That I've never done before or since. And it like, hey, I like Tanya Harding, so I voted for you. Like, all right, well, thanks.
Yeah. So I don't know. Any last second advice?
No, man. Have fun. Be loose.
I think that's the key. Have you ever done non-material at the top of your set in a competition?
No. I mean, like that. No.
I feel like that's a real pro expert move that I'm not sure I'm ready for yet. Hopefully the host or the comic before me will give me something that I can come out and say. And like my last new talent night set, that happened.
Yeah.
And I got a huge pop out of it. And it really helped me like settle my nerves.
Sure.
But I feel like the risk is so high there. If you swing and miss, you could tank your whole set.
Yeah. And I mean, what I do, whether it's good or bad, is I am going to, nothing else matters. This is it. Cut the tape. This is where we're starting. This is where the night begins when I get on stage. And so I'm not going to reference anything before. If I have a similar joke or if whatever, it just doesn't matter. And that's how I do it. And part of that is because I'm always looking for a better tape. I'm always looking for a better, that's how the way that I think about competitions is there's a way to win a competition. And that is to have the right expectations going in. Like I don't really care if I move on to the next round. I don't care about this and care about this. Of course, everybody's got an ego, but I'm like, if I get a good tape out of this, then I win, whether or not I move forward. If I get a good tape, I win. I mean, I remember I did that. At the New Faces, I was chatting with somebody, a comic you would know. He's got red hair. I'm blanking on his name at the moment, but
Cody Ulrich?
No, he gets in trouble for talking about guns a lot.
Alan Bromwell?
Yes, Alan Bromwell. And I'm like, hey, I think I said something like, I'm just trying to get a good tape because I was less than a year in, and I'm trying to get a good tape. Oh no, you should go out there trying to win. I'm like, well, this is winning, and plus Derek is on our card, so Derek's winning. We know who's winning.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to get a good take.
Yeah. Well, everybody tune in next week and you'll hear how I did in New Faces. That's the thing about stand-up comedy. You find out right away.
Right away.
And let's get into some plugs. First off, the Patreon is going to be hot. We got tons of stuff to talk about. I am going to have an update on a very expensive bid that I made. I think only Patreon people know about that. I'll talk some more about Athens behind the scenes. I got some Vail Comedy Festival drama to talk about. I'll say how much Carla is getting paid to do that funeral. If we have time, Jake, I'm gonna get your roast smarts on an upcoming bachelorette party I'm doing. And I wrote down Salma Zaky. I forget. Oh yeah, I was gonna give an update on trying to book Salma after her Netflix thing. You got anything for the Patreon?
Patreon, yeah, I did a show and there was a comedian who I don't like for good reasons. I'll tell you all about it.
It's like the regular podcast is a soda podcast, and the Patreon is Jake doesn't like a comedian.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
For good reason. For good reason.
Always for good reason. All right, folks, this comes out May 25th. Big Jake, what do you got coming up around that?
You know, it looks like my calendar is just in the middle of June. I'm headlining Crackpots. So June 12th and 13th.
Massillon, Ohio, everybody.
Right.
Good burgers out there. All right, May 25th. That means Vail Comedy Festival is in the books. It happened 22nd, 23rd, 24th. I am probably in a coma right now from overwork. Wednesday, May 27th, I have an awesome private gig in Castle Rock, Colorado. Very exciting. I'll mention on the Patreon who the headliner is. And after that, I got June 3rd. No, sorry. Let's get this right. June 4th and June 5th is Denver Fringe Festival. So look up Mark Masters Comedy and Denver Fringe Festival. I need to move some tickets. I don't want it to be like that Netflix show. Do you know what I'm talking about? That Baby Reindeer. Oh my gosh. It was so sad when that guy did Edinburgh Fringe Festival in that TV show. Don't make me relive that in Denver. Let's get some butts and seats. Denver Fringe Festival, June 4th and 5th. And we're rolling over to the Patreon. We'll see you next time, everybody.